Live. This is live from the city of Fort Worth, Texas, United States of America. My name is Onoja Yakubu Ako. I'm reaching you with respect of a very serious issues as it pertains to the world. The topic of today is the global economy. This is Intellectual Ndaba, Season 1, Episode 2. We were together last 2 weeks, but today we are looking at issues pertaining to the fabric of our humanity, and that is the global economy. Now, this global economy, as you can see this background, it says World Equation Organization. This is the body that is anchoring Intellectual Ndaba, the mouthpiece of issues pertaining to our affairs globally. Now, World Equation Organization came to be as a result of the research work I did. That was 28 years ago. You can see this book here. This is Equation Science. It's a 28 years research work, 520 pages, 17 chapters. This is one of the pioneered work that will change the fabric of world affairs globally. I am not talking because I wrote this book. I'm telling you because it's an extraordinary book that will change the affairs of human beings for the better. Now, the topic we are treating today, the onus is the global economy. But the kernel of what we'll be discussing today is the original world order. When we say the original world order, what do we mean? Humanity today, as it were, is passing through a very gruesome, grinding challenges, which is solvable because we humans, we have the power to solve challenges of this world. That's why we are called human being, Homo sapien. People with the intellectual know-how. Challenges, as it were, they are solvable because we are called Homo sapien. We have the ability to solve whatever challenges we are confronting today, whether it is by natural or by human, causation factors. Now, what is the economy? The economy today, either you are living in Oceania, Africa, Europe, Asia, North America, or South America, wherever, anywhere you find yourself under the face of this world, you are being affected by the issues coming out from the economy. Either it is your own local economy, your own individual economy, or your national economy, or as it were, as we are treating today, the global economy. Whatever affects the global economy affects you. Now, the question now you are asking now is that, what is an economy? An economy is normal sense have to do with the wealth of nations as it concerns goods and services, manageable by leaders for the good of all. But as it is today, are we all enjoying the resources of this world? The answer is capital no. We are not enjoying the resources of this world. United Nations is passing through gruesome challenges to solve the challenges of humanity. Individual countries like United States, Nigeria, South America, North America, so on and so forth, they are passing through the challenges of solving the challenges confronting humanity. But I want to give you good news. Today, we together we are going to diagnose and provide solution to the challenges of the global economy. Now, I've told you about the intro of what the economy is all about. Goods and services. What you do with your goods and services affects your life. If you abuse it, you suffer the consequences. If you harness it, hone it, you will enjoy what? The profit thereof. We want humanity to be enjoying the resources of this world. As it were today, the world today is passing through what you call, poverty, avoidable poverty. This poverty that is affecting the whole world, they are avoidable. That brings me to the issues at stake today. That issue is, today is the 16th of October, 2018. We'll be looking at the global economy. the global economy. We're going to pin it down on inequality and equality. Today, the world is here today. The world is here today. The world is passing through gruesome challenges of inequality. Inequality, you have to do with poverty and riches going apart. They are being separated. Poverty is increasing. Riches are increasing, but the gap between the poor and the rich is growing daily. Why inequality? The answer has to do with man search for another. Today we know of so many histories about world orders. The First World War was fought in 1914. It was because man was searching for a world order. The world came together to stop that war. They formed what you call the League of Nations. In 1939, Second World War, took off. In 1945, after the end of the Second World War, the world came together to form United Nations. That was October 24th, 1945. United Nations is today now is 73 years old. Is grappling with the challenges of defining the order that will suit the whole world. But before now, the world, everybody know, even I and you know, you must have heard of the word called globalization. You have heard of the word called globalization. Globalization. What is globalization? Globalization is a world order defined by the capitalists. It is premised on globalism. What are they talking about? To you, it's a jargon. Yes. An average human being wants, food on his or her table. You don't want to hear of all these professional jargons. But we need to dissect this to know whether globalization is good for us or not. What is globalization? Forget what you have been told in your books. Go to internet, you will surf it in Wikipedia, you can Google it. You will see several definitions of globalization because the world is confused. But from the premise of equation science, from what we have done, we are going to individualize the solution of the global economy so that I and you, wherever you find yourself, you will have access to the resources of this world without any qualms, without any whims and caprices of the capitalists or selfish leaders. What is globalization? Globalization simply means few people carrying the world. This is globalization. Globalization simply means few people carrying the world. That is to say, the West, officially, United States is the chief architect carrying the world. This is the world here. And you have United States here carrying this world, carrying the world. Is it possible? The weight of the world alone is enough to suffocate United States. Yes, United States is the #1 economy in the world today. But with what United States is doing and the Western countries supporting them, they cannot do it alone. They cannot give us what we really want. Now, if one is carrying the whole world, let's say United States is 1 and the world is 10. One cannot carry 10. One cannot carry 10. This is too much. One cannot carry 10. Now, how do we leave this place of inequality? I want to give us very simple statistics, some very simple mathematical expressions to understand the crisis that globalization has really caused the world. This word called globalization was made popular by a very renowned, but he's late, Theodore Lovett. He was a lecturer, a teacher, an instructor with Harvard Business School. He died in 2006 at the age of 81. Now, he popularized globalization. He wrote on an article that says globalization and the markets. This was written by Theodore, an American from Harvard Business School. This was written in 1983. This was done in 1983. He popularized the word called globalization. But globalization itself has been existing before now. Some person says globalization has been since in existence 1940. Some says since 1882. That is to say, the world coming together to share global resources. But because of the popularization of the United States, commonly speaking now, globalization today now stands for one nation carrying the world. This is not admissible in reality. I will tell you why. It's not admissible in reality because the world as it is today is not about globalism. I will give you a very simple scenario. Now, what is the population of the United States? The population of the United States, US, is 325 million. What is the population of the world? It's very simple. The population of the world today is within the ambit of 7.5 billion. The world is 7.5 billion. 7.5 billion. Now we're going to do a simple mathematical expressions here. We want to know why is globalization causing a lot of inequality. The gap between the rich and the poor is growing continuously. How do we truncate this and give humanity a fresh perspective, a breath of fresh air? It's simple. Take this 325 million. This 325 million by 7.5 billion. If you do your calculation, you will find out that this is million, billion. Can I get? This is million, billion. Thank you. Now let's do simple math. I want us to relate together. 3.5, 3.25, 3.25, 325 million. Good. Okay. Divided by 325 million divided by 7.5 billion. $7.5 billion. Now you will have what you call 0.0004333. Now this is the fraction. When I multiply it by 100%, when you multiply it by 100%, you will see the fraction of where America stands population-wise. You have 0.04333%. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, let's measure it now in reality. On a scale of 1 to 10, you have 1 here, you have 10. We want to measure this value on a scale of 1 to 10. What you need to do now, just come back again, divide it by 100% times 10. Now, we have this, divide by 100. I just want us to look at simple arithmetics here. Then times 10, where America comes to be, we have what you call 0.0043. Now, if you look at it on a scale of 1 to 10, just watch this. Look at simple scenario here. This is 0.0043. This 0.0043, simple mathematical expression here says it is infinitesimally far from 1. This is what is happening here. That means America cannot carry the world. It is so far. It is not even up to 0.43. This is 0.0043. It is far from 1. Now this is 0.5. This one is around this axis here. It's so far from 1. So 0.0043 is far from what? 1. So on the scale of 1 to 10, it is not admissible in reality. That is to say, an individual cannot carry the world. An individual is an individual, a unity. We are playing with numbers here. One cannot carry 7.5 billion. It is not admissible in reality. That is why we are having few people controlling the goods and resources of the world at the expense of the majority. And this majority, they are the poor, they are the ones suffering the pangs of poverty today in the world. This is not correct, and we're going to address it today. Now let's go to second reality. Second reality. Now, second reality now says, let's look at the GDP. We have dealt with population. Let's look at the gross domestic product. The world today, GDP of the world GDP stands at 80 trillion. 80 trillion. Now, US GDP 2018 stands at 20 trillion. 20 trillion. Now, when you take 20 trillion from 80 trillion, what is left? 60 trillion. Simple analysis. Now, let's do again with respect of this. Take 20. This is US now. US. 20 upon 80. When you do your simple analysis, what you have is very simple to go. Now, what you have is very simple. If you cancel trillion, cancel, you have 1 upon 4. Now, what is 1 upon 4? You have 0.25 times 10. Times 10. You have what they call 2.5%. Now, this 2.5%, we want to do simple analysis here. This 2.5%, that is upon 100. That is by 100. You have this 2.5%. Now, what we need to do is very simple. This is United States now. Let's look at the entire world. The world now, we have taken 20 from 60. From 80, we have 60. You have 60 upon 80. If you cancel, trillion is gone. You have 2 here, you have 2 here, you have 3. 2 here, you have 4. So we're looking at 0.75. So if you now multiply it by 100%, you are looking at, if you look at this, you're looking at 7.5%. Okay. Now that means United States has a share of the global economy of 2.5% of the entire global economy GDP. Now, if we bring this one down to simple analysis of 1 on a scale of 1 to 10, United States is here and the world is here. Now look at this. This is 1 to 10. you have 10, you have 1. If you look at it, America is around this place, 2.5. 2.5 cannot carry 10. The weight is too much. This is telling us that the West that are projecting and selling globalization to the world, very few of them have control of the global resources, when the rest of the whole world is carrying what? The poverty part of it. That means to say, what we are saying here in essence is that if you look at this, it shows that globalization is not working. It's not the world order. They call it the new world order. Globalization, globalism is not the world order. It does not suffice to the affairs of this world. That means to say, by virtue of this, globalization is already living on what we call, to the medical sciences, sciences, is already on, life support. Globalization is doing more harm to humanity than good. Few persons are controlling the resources, while majority are on the side of poverty. Globalization entrenches inequality. The gap between the rich and the poor is growing in an infinite proportion. This abnormality must stop. And that's the essence of this intellectual endeavor today. Now let's go now to the solution, as it were. Now, I want you to look at it. I want you to use your tongue to count your teeth. If the world is talking about new world order, there are several world orders that have come and gone. There are several world orders has come and gone. Why is the world talking about new world order? If globalism is dead, they are not talking about another new world order, but they don't know what is that world order. That is to say, if the world is since the world is talking about new world order, it suffices to tell us that there is an original world order. For the demise of several world orders, it tells us that there is an original world order, that humanity is searching for this original world order to no avail. But we have deciphered this original world order. Now, welcome to the new frontier. Welcome to the new frontier. Now, I have wiped out globalization is dead. This is globalization is dead. Now, look at what we have done. Flip it around. We said globalization is few persons, few carrying the world. That is to say, one, to globalization, to the globalists, they said one is equals to all. That is to put it here, the world. Is this one true? No. This is one is not equals to the world. This is what globalization is projecting. Now, one cannot carry the world. One is not the world. This is the bastion of inequality. Inequality, this is why we are having inequality in the world. Why we have few persons controlling the wealth of nations, the wealth of the world. Now, I and you know that today, we are told that 2,208 global billionaires control $9.1 trillion according to Forbes reports. Go and Google it, you will see the numbers of global billionaires. 2,208 of them controls $9.1 trillion of global wealth, while the rest can go and smoke into the ocean. That is not correct. The wealth of this world belongs to everybody. The wealth of this world, everybody have to enjoy it. And that is where we are coming. This is globalization. Now, flip it now. Flip. I'm using the word flip it around. Since one is not equal to the world, if you flip it around, the world says a world order. whether it is an old world order, the emphasis says old world order. When we say world order, means the system that controls the events of the world. Political stability, economic stability, social stability. What we are doing here today will resonate across the whole world. We are changing the global scheme of things from today. United Nations, United States, North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Europe, Oceania. What we are doing today, we are changing the dynamics of global affairs. Whatever you are doing, what you are doing here today is going to affect you to your pockets, either as an individual or an institution, either a country, community, or classroom. What we are doing here today is going to affect you, it's going to resonate across the length and breadth of the whole universe. We are helping United Nations, we are complementing the affairs of everybody all over the world, because the world itself is everybody's responsibility. The welfare of the world does not belong to anybody, it belongs to all of us. Now, since one cannot carry the world, and they say world order, all the world order says the system that controls the event of the world. That means it takes only the world to carry itself. Let me give you a very simple scenario. If your shoe size is 42. If your shoe size is 42, that means to say your leg is 42. If normal system says your leg and size, they are what? Equivalent. If you wear the shoe size, your leg measurement is 42. If you wear the shoe size of 43, your leg size is 42. 42 is not equivalent to 43. 42 must be equal to what? 42. If your shoe size is 43, you have to wear, you have to go and buy the shoe that is what? 43. If you buy 41, though you are wearing it, but you're going to have a lot of discomforts. These are realities of life. That means the world is equal to itself. Are you getting what I'm saying? The world is equal to itself. The world is its own equivalence. I am my own equivalent. My shoe size is 44. I have to wear 44. If I wear 43, though I might be pretending that I'm comfortable, but I am not. So the world itself is not globalization. The world is its own equivalent. The world is equal to itself. You say world order. World order. World order means the system that governs, that controls the event of this world, whether it is political stability, economic stability, or social stability. Whatever issue that has to do with the world is about world order. Now, what is the original world order? Simple. What is the original world order? I will look at the answer here. The answer is here. The original world order is this. The world is W. The world is W is this. Now, the world is its own equivalent. The world is equal to itself. This is it. Look at it. This equation is very simple. The world is equal to itself. Globalization is not the world. The world is equal to itself. And in this world, there are two cardinal features. The world is equal to itself. Simple. Simple. This is a very classical equation. This is a very classical equation. The world is equal to itself. This is the world. The world is its own equivalent. Now look at this. This world has players. The real players of this world is very simple. What? Watch. The world, W, has players. We call them factors. Factors are the defining elements. The factors that define this world are just two cardinals. The factors of this world are factors of the world are man and the environment. Man and the environment. To the environment we call it E. Carry this equation. Find out W equals to W. Wherever you see this W, either way you look at it, I can carry now to the left hand side, I can say W equals to man interacting with the environment. Man interacting with the environment. Look at this. But this interaction is not closed. The interaction is open and is continuous. Hence, we say this. This is what we call the original world order. Now, this is what we call the original world order. This is what we call original world order. This is the original world order. The world is man interacting with the environment continuously. This is the original world order. By virtue of this, we can now define this. Look at this M. M here stands for people. Every human being that is here, you are created to create. You are created, you are in this world. For you to be here, W equals to M E. Every human being, every human being that is here, every person or group of persons known as people, everybody is expected, everybody is created to create. That is why you are here. Once you are here in this world, you are to create. Now, this as a whole, we are going to give it a name. There is a name that is everywhere. As we are talking, when you are hungry, your belly is interacting with you, telling you that you need to interact with the environment and give it satisfaction. When you are in your family, you are interacting, you are communing, you are bringing your hands together to solve your family problem. If you are in the society, the same thing. This continuous interaction of humanity is what we call N. Continuous interaction. We call it Indaba. We call it Indaba. Everywhere, whether you are in United Nations, you are in the United States, you are in the you are in the North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Africa, or Oceania, you are doing Indaba. As an individual, you are doing Indaba. As an institution, you are doing Indaba. This Indaba. Now we are moving forward. We are going to define this world order from this equation. We are moving forward. Now, Indaba Indaba is a South African word from the ethnic group of Zulu. It says people, 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 people. That's why I see M here. People solving problems, meeting their head together to solve problems of society. It says it takes people to be equal to people. The world itself is about people. Now, people, since people is here, people are expected to create this environment and make it beautiful as it were. Now, these people, the act of people solving problem, we call it indabalize. Indabalize. The action of indaba is what we call indabalize. Now, watch. As the original process is called indabalization. 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 This as a whole, we let us put a number, let's call it indabalism. Indabalism. That means world leaders need to be championing indabalism and not globalism. What the world needs is not, staying on life support. The world is more than hanging on life support. The solution the world is looking for, the original world order is indabalization. Indabalization. Indabalization is the original world order. This is what the world needs. Indabalization. Indabalization this is the original world. This is the original world order. Let me give you a simple scenario how it works. I will not play here again. I will leave it so that you'll be seeing what is happening. This original world order is expressed as W equals to this, this, this. With this indabalization, the original world order, it controls one. All the events in the world, the past is, let's call past X. Let's call the present Y. Then the future is, we use Z. Now, look at this simple scenario. The original world equation is indabalization. The original world order is indabalization. Now, the past, all the world orders of the past, they are what? Imitating an ounce of imitation of this original world order. It is the absence of man inability to getting this original world order that the issue of trial and error of world orders has been bettered by human faculties. They will come and go. The past came and it went that way. The present has come and gone. Even in the future, there is no need to be talking about the future world order where the original world order has been bettered. Now, you remember what we did previously when we said we talk about United States, US standing on 0.0043, while the entire world is standing on the side of 10. We have 10 minus 0.0043. We are looking at the axis of 9 points. Now, 9.9. Now, watch this. when you flip it on a scale of 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10, flip it around, scale of 1 to 10, this is 10, this is 1. This one, 10, 9 is around here, 9.9. 9.9 can carry 0.0043 with ease. It takes the world to carry the world. This is where indabalization comes to play. Indabalization. Now, let's go to the GDP. This is population we have just handled here. Now, let's go to GDP. Let me clean this one out. Remember, we said GDP. The whole world stands at 80 trillion. Now, US has 20 trillion. We discussed previously that US is standing on 2.5, while the remaining world is standing on 7.5. Now, when you flip it around, you find out that under indabalization, you have 7.5 on the scale of 1 to 10 here. Scale of 1 to 10. 7.5 is here. 7.5 is here. Now look at it now. This is the majority of the world. The whole world is 7.5. 7.5, the remaining 2.5 is here. That means 7.5 carries 2.5. Now, look at what is happening. By what we have just done, simple analysis. By what you have just done, equality is now going to be the name of the game. Equality will be entrenched all over the world. What do I mean by equality? Meaning that, previously we said globalization entrenches inequality because the gap between the rich and the poor is growing and the gulf is ad infinitum. Now with indabalization, equality here says it expands riches between or among the people of the world. That is to say, with indabalization bridges the gap. Indabalization closes the gap between the rich and the poor. By this simple analysis, you will find out that with what we are told that the population of the world, over 300 million people are living below $2.50. More than 300 million living under $2.50, going by the scale of poverty. But with indabalization as the original world order, by this, with indabalization, the original world order, look at this, with indabalization with the original world order, this gap will be bridged. How? We said once you are here, everybody that is here is created. Once you are here, you are expected to create. As you interact in the environment, you are expected to create. Now, how can this indabalization, be put to play? Simple. Now, every human being, written in the annals of every human being, your subconsciousness or your consciousness, every human being is expected to create and contribute to the system. Contribute to the system. The economy grows by creating and contributing. Now, the duty of government now, every government now is to harvest these endeavors, and flood the economy. Now watch this. These endeavors here, this one serve as what? The services. This one serve as what? Goods. Now every affairs in the whole world, this economy, this endeavor economy you're talking about is driven by what? Harvesting the endeavors and flooding the economy. So whether you are in the United States, the government of the United States is to harvest their endeavors. That is the citizens of America, as they create and contribute, harvest them and deploy them into this economy, the economy grows. In Nigeria, the state of poverty in Nigeria is not welcome, and it is a travesty. Now the government of Nigeria, the economy of Nigeria will grow when the government of Nigeria will harvest the endeavors, they create and contribute. All the people that are creating and contributing, harvest them. And when you harvest them, you deploy them. You flood them into the Nigerian economy. You integrate them into the economy. When you harvest the endeavors, you integrate them into the endeavor economy. The gap between the rich and the poor bridges. The issue of economic recession will become a thing of the past. It is because few persons are controlling the resources of the world. That's why we are having issues of what? Economic recession. Economic recession is not supposed to be. Now, the resources of the world are M and E. This is the goods. Now, look at this environment. We have land, we have air, we have water, we have S for space. The land, we have on land resources. On land, we have under the land, where you have oil and gas, you have solid mineral resources, you have air resources, you have on water, we have water bodies, either it is salt water or or fresh water. In water we have fish resources, so on and so forth. On land resources you have animals and plants. The space, your space of operation, have sky, the air, where the air interpolate and extrapolate, habit together. When you harvest, when you interact with your environment, every country has interpolation going on right now. The duty of the individual or institutions, the duty of government is to harvest these endeavors. Harvest these endeavors and deploy them into the endeavor economy. What we have is the endeavor economy. This endeavor economy is what the world is all about. The world is an endeavor economy. So the global economy is an endeavor economy. An endeavor economy is where the endeavors are endeavorizing. And the government, the duty of the government is to what? Harvest these endeavors and flood the economy. That means everybody is creating, everybody is contributing. Therefore, resources are harnessed, wealth are created, and well distributed. This is what we are talking about. We have already solved and told you that the original economy, the original world order is in globalization. In globalization. We are now calling on United Nations, the government of Nigeria, the government of African Union, United States. We are calling on White House precisely. We are calling on the government of the continent, European Union. We are looking at North America, South America, Africa, Asia, Oceania, and what have you, that the original world order is in globalization, and it is defined in this economy, in that economy called WME. Whatever you have, religion is played here. This original equation, this original world order defines everything about the world. Religion affairs are resolved here. Ecosystem about climate change resolved here. Businesses resolved here. Family issues resolved here. Development resolved here. Government resolved here. Academia resolved here. Potential resolved here. This is the original world order. Original world order. This original world order, this equation you see, is what we call globalization. Globalization. So what the world needs, United Nations, World Bank, is globalization. Now in our next series when we meet, we are going to start breaking down all the nuggets. Probably we're going to do what we call business globalization, or family globalization, or development globalization, and so on and so forth. With this, the world will start bridging the gap between the rich and the poor, so that the wealth will be well distributed. With this, I want to thank my team. I want to thank everybody out there. I want to appreciate the people behind Intellectual Ndaba. I can see you, Intelligent Ndaba Nigeria is already coming up. Intelligent Ndaba is coming up in UK, in Rwanda, in South Africa. We want everybody to begin to start establishing their own Intellectual Ndaba in their localities, because the world itself is intellectual Ndaba. We just told us today, the original world order is in globalization. That you can see. From here, all the events of the world, the past, the present, and the future are what? Controlled, are affected, and impacted. Thank you. I see you next time. I remain Onoja Ikubwako. I want to thank my wife there. I want to appreciate my wife, Victoria, taking care of the children at home. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate. I want to thank my parents, my siblings, my friends and family in Nigeria and across the world. Yes, we are here in globalizing, and we have just globalized. We have opened up the original world order, which is globalization. So United Nations, IMF, World Bank, global bodies take over the usage and the application of globalization, because this is what the world needs. Because with this now we can bridge the gap between the rich and the poor. So with this now we have given the world a new direction. Thank you all, and see you next time. Thank you. Thank you.